This is a big day for iMasons, and I'm sure for the iMasons scholars at Hampton University. Welcome. This past year, we've been expanding the iMason strategy. You're going to hear more about that at our APAC Regional Summit tomorrow. But one of the constants has been our focus on increasing the flow of talent into our industry. So one of the key challenges has been helping new college graduates bridge the gap to their first job in digital infrastructure. So employees often want to hire people with experience. The challenge is, of course, how do you get that experience? So guided by our education committee and chaired by Dennis Cronin, a big shout out to Dennis. Thank you very much for your leadership. We've come up with a few ideas, and today we're seeing those results. So here to tell us a little bit more about what this is all about is our executive director, Jeff Omelchuk.
Thanks, Dean. So as you know, many bachelor's degree require a senior design capstone project intended to help the students integrate the learnings from their 4 years and apply it to a real world problem. The idea here was to create a capstone project that introduced students to the breadth of our industry, from designing the infra to support booming demand through site selection to financing and designing a data center. We'd been chewing on this idea for a while when we were introduced to Hampton University, a small historically Black university in Southern Virginia with a small technology and engineering program that includes electrical and computer engineering and architecture. For the first term, the students were given a fictitious mobile app with given latency and bandwidth requirements and a user growth curve in the US market. And their assignment was to figure out how many data centers of what size to put where to service that app's growth. And they had to consider all the typical things for site selection, which I won't go through. So they presented that at the end of the first term back in November. So for the second term, which just started in January here, the assignment was to pick one of the sites where they wanted to build a data center and build a data center on paper. So they had to select all the equipment, develop a cooling scheme, how much power is it going to take, lay out the facility, and finally develop a CapEx and OpEx budget for their data centers. So let's move on in the presentation right now to introduce the executive evaluation panel.
Good morning, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here and get a chance to see the report out of your capstone projects. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm an architect. I've been through these types of presentations before. I'm so excited to be part of this and really looking forward to what the students have put together.
My name's Kurt Belisar, and I lead the team at Apple that does server and storage design.
Good morning, my name is Eric Wilcox. I'm the global leader of data center engineering for Amazon Web Services.
My name is Eddie Shooter, and I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Switch.
My name is Tarun Raisoni. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO of a small company called Rahi Systems.
I am Randy Brockman. I'm actually the co-founder and CEO of EdgeConneX.
So my name is Ian Whitfield. I'm Chief Technology Officer for Pure Data Centers.
Aidan Murphy. I'm the Senior Vice President of Operations at Yonder Group in the Americas.
I'm Zalim Bawala in London.
Peter Kazella from PCASA, Critical Facilities Recruiting.
I'm the Chief Operations Officer for a company called Virtual Power Systems.
Ehsan Nasser, I'm part of a data center advanced development team at Microsoft.
Marisol Sarudi, I'm also a founding board member of Infrastructure Masons and a principal at Teledata. I'm responsible for marketing and business development.
So evaluators, you were all given a link to a Google Doc to enter your comments and evaluation on. Your comments that you put in the GDoc will be shared with both the Hampton faculty and with the students after the session. And the faculty will consider your comments in evaluating the students, giving them a grade for the course. So your comments matter, but you're not directly determining the grades.
We picked 2 locations, one in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and the second in Henrico County, Virginia. And a lot of those factors were, one, environmental factors, which were the floodplains, natural disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, and also elevation.
This is basically a sectional view that shows you our floor to ceiling height or floor to under slab height, and the services that will run throughout the space and how it's routed throughout the space.
And we do see here that I did decide to go with the UPS being as obviously the alternative source of power in case the primary does fail. So I do have the two connected here for the two loads.
We did decide that for our design for our racks that we were going to do something related to the flash stacks. So the way that we had it set up is that we will have our 3 chassis per racks filled with 4 servers. So at half capacity of the Cisco UCS B series blade servers.
Each room is given the zone based off of how much air is needed. So zone A is a server room and the power room. This air needs to be cycled every 1 to 4 minutes because it's very time critical.
But we ended up deciding to use the switches hot aisle containment chimney pod. This design captivated our attention, and we love the fact that you can customize the width of the entire containment aisle as well as the chimney pod.
I was contemplating with my team on creating our own solar power station farm, but after speaking with mentors, they explained to me how it wouldn't be logical to do that because it was way too expensive. So we were looking at partners to do that. Con Edison and Embry Energy were 2 options.
Thank you so much to the students. Great job in this presentation, and thank you to the evaluators for, investing your time in this. Thank you all for participating.
This project really taught me a lot about the foundations of the internet and the physical components that go into the internet and how everything connects together with each other. And just scaling out big types of projects is really interesting to see how everything connects together, the app, then the actual data center, and then employing people and how the whole tech industry works as a whole. So it's really eye-opening.
We were introduced to a whole different concept of thinking with regards to how a data center functions and the design here that goes into creating a data center.
And then just listening to the mentors we call, they're pretty much super duper excited that we're wanting to actually talk to them. And they're like, if you want to, if you need anything else, call me again. Bill, he was a bright ball of energy just from his stories to, I don't know how he knows just about everything he knows, but he was able to always pull up random links for us. So it's just exciting to see people be excited about what they're doing.
This is a forever growing industry, so I definitely think this is helpful, and I definitely see myself eventually, taking in a career along this path.